Okay. Love in the Afterlife, written in 6 hours by Totoamaz. 2,222 voids. Star Trek definitely does not have yaoi unless you put it in yourself. This is Star Trek, right? We're talking about this spawned the original, largest, greatest, strongest yaoi shipping fandom in the world. Alright. Greetings, you may call me S. I will be your narrator for this love story, as I am the only person who knows enough to tell it. But first, I must tell you of a love story with capital letters. It all began 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years away from light years away from Earth. Oh. A war is fought between space ghosts and space zombies. This war has been ongoing for centuries. Hang on, I could have sold that more. Space ghosts and space zombies. That's what they sound like. But with space. Space zombies. Yeah, like that. Okay. No, they're comically loud. Wait, we never got a bingo in the last one, did we? Okay, is there trauma? Probably. Pizza Pants fucking got stabbed to death. That's gonna have trauma, so that's a bingo. I'm gonna count that as a bingo. He's definitely got psychological scars from that. Fuck coming back to life. Umris. Nah. It doesn't matter, they got their bingo. Zombie ghosts, leave this place. Yes, 6 hours. So there's ghosts. Not even Napstablook, just space ghosts. This war had been ongoing for centuries. Ultimate Showdown. The ghosts sought a peaceful resolution, so they made a weapon that would end the war in a single shot. They knew the danger such a weapon would pose to the universe, and many wished for its destruction, but the pride of the Ghost King could not accept losing the war. He ordered the weapon fired. Peace was agreed on within the week. Personally, I would have let him fire the weapon. I'm surprised nobody stopped him. I wouldn't have let him fire the weapon. Okay. My throat. Yeah, this is a ribbit plot line. You're not even wrong. October 31st, the 22nd century Earth. Maybe we need a cool narrator voice for this. Be it irony of... No, I gotta lock into the Itoi voice. Hang on. Be it irony of fate, today of all days would be the day that the effects of the ghost's weapon would reach the Earth. A spectral ionic space ray fired in all directions at the speed of light. Any living creature it passed through would instantly die. The Earth underwent a true mass extinction, humans, monsters, everyone. Wiped out in an instant, dead. But that was not the end. The Ghost King wanted peace, not extermination. For every body that kneeled over dead, a soul remained. In the course of 0.13 seconds, every living thing on the planet Earth was converted into a ghost. Asriel Dreamer was one of these unfortunate new souls, as was Pan Pizza Pants Maximus. Interesting first name. Together these souls will try and understand their new bodies, and while they're at it, maybe they can understand each other a little more too. I say maybe, as if we both don't already know how the story is going to end. This is a love story. Let us begin. Thanks, Mark Z. Danielewski, and also Slay the Princess guy. Thanks. Alright, so immediately the highest possible concept has been deployed. This is like light novel levels of high concept. We're going to ignore the fact that his name is Maximally Pan. That was not the usual narrator voice, by the way. That was something else. I've kind of forgotten how I did the normal, like, Earthbound narration voice. I guess I'll keep going with it. It is the night of October 30th. The red light of Pam's alarm clock, not Pan. Pan's alarm clock is drowned out by a bright computer screen he was staring at. If he was paying attention, he would have noticed that midnight was 10 seconds away. Halloween was fast approaching, and 2 seconds behind it was my good friend Death. Pan leaned back in his chair, his clock ticked over to the next day, and he died. He didn't notice anything at first, but he heard a loud bang. He looked at the sound of the noise, only to find that his chair had fallen over, but he wasn't sitting in that chair. He looked closer, finding the dim screen he had been staring into for the past hour had been more than enough light. Something looked back at him, no, through him. It was his corpse, frozen at the moment of death. Pan screamed and tried to jump away. He flew into the air, the ceiling of his apartment rapidly approaching, and then he passed straight through it. He flew into the apartment directly above his, where a snowy drake was fast asleep. Through their roof he found himself among a spider massacre. Their legs curled above their heads, the ghosts were screaming in silence. Pan couldn't hear what they were saying, and trust me, you don't want to know. He passed through the ceiling again. The momentum from his jump wasn't stopping. Pan stopped his screaming and attempted to take a breath. Not like he needed one, not anymore. He tried to understand his surroundings, but then he found himself looking up at the night sky. Looking down, he saw that he was flying away from hometown, and across the horizon he could see more people like him. Rising to the sky, looking around in confusion. It was mostly cats like him. As Pan tried to get a closer look at them, he realized he could see the stars behind them. They were transparent. He looked down at his hands, which was also transparent. This is crazy. Yeah, this is the fucking book thief. Not even wrong. Yeah, vaguely Stanley Parable narrator, but not as good as the Stanley Parable narrator. He wanted answers, someone to tell him what was going on, and most importantly, someone to stop him flying away into the sky. Maybe I'll try more Stanley Parable? Suddenly, he screeched to a halt. It felt wrong, because he didn't feel the familiar jolt of momentum. He had died less than 30 seconds ago, and was severely confused. All around the world, similar scenarios played out. Some slept through their death, others fell through walls they were leaning on. Those who were driving found themselves being phased through by aimless cars. I don't really think I have the vocal energy to do a Stanley Parable impression. The only people who were unaffected were ghost monsters, though any who had found a serviceable body were unknowingly ejected, and would have to bond with them again. All things considered, it was not the best day. 7 hours later. Wow. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, though? Asriel Dreamer got up, went to make his bed, and found Asriel's shaped pile of dust sleeping in his sheets. He immediately looked over at Chris's bed to see if they were safe, only to find their spirits sitting on the edge of the bed, holding the broken piece of their soul in their hands.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone dead? Chris, what do you mean? Why does your soul look like that?
I'm dead. Mom's also dead, but she's still asleep.
Chris, why are you so calm?
I'm free. Also, being dead doesn't seem too bad. I don't know.
Piles of Asriel's. As he didn't know what to say to that, he sat down on Chris's bed and stared up at his. He sat down on Chris's bed and stared at his and his siblings' bodies. His and his siblings. I guess that's correct? Without saying a word, Chris put their arm around him. I'm not dreaming. You never talk in my dreams.
We're all actually dead, yeah.
How many people died, and how?
Yep, use this.
Chris extended their arm, and their phone flew into their hand. They unlocked it and handed it to Azzy. Damn, Chris is like a natural ghost beer. Chris is like Tails, and Tails gets trolled, except instead of weed, it's being a ghost. If that makes sense.
Check the news. Doesn't matter which site.
As he used the phone with great difficulty, his hands passed through the screen half the time. They managed to Google news and headlines appeared. Everyone is dead! All living creatures are turned into ghosts. Top 10 things to try with your new ghost body. As he leaned back onto Chris's bed. So everyone in the world was now dead and on Halloween of all days. Oh yeah.
Should we wake up Mom, or let her discover this by herself?
We should wake her up. She's going to need our support. The two of them stood up and headed for the door. As he waited for Chris to open the door, but they just walked straight through it, he hesitantly followed their example. 15 hours post-mortem. Toriel's eyes were still a bit red from crying as she held Chris in her arms. The stained glass of the church filtered through the dozens of ghosts that filled the seats in the air. Normally not even half the town could attend church at the same time, but with the majority of people floating now, there was enough room. Father Alvin stood at the back of the room. Officer Napstablook had asked to have a town meeting in the church, and they were now staring at what was meant to be a ghost, along with tips... Oh, they were sharing what it meant to be a ghost, along with tips on flying and walking through walls. They wrapped up their lessons and offered to hold a ghost training at the police station later the week, before exiting through the wall. Mayor Holliday then took to the podium and started giving a speech about supporting others, as he was having trouble paying attention when he saw a hand get waved in front of his face. Pan, his friend since childhood, was trying to get his attention and motioned for them to go outside. It's so fucking funny that Napstablook is actually just the exact same thing as what happens if you die. Like, it's not just a separate ghost-like monster. Napstablook just is a dead person, identical to a dead person in every way, to the extent that killing them doesn't even do anything. That's so funny. You know what I mean when I say this is like a light novel premise, right? It's just like some crazy batshit thing happens. They've all been isekai'd. The guy in the 4-dimensional cube comes down and gives the government infinite energy. You know, like one of those type of things. Like, all the gamers get sucked into World of Warcraft and have to rebuild society. It also kind of reminds me of Good Omens for some reason. The nonchalance. Huh.
But what about the economy?
Assert a new status quo in as few words as possible and get to the premise of the plot. Yes. Basically.
Wouldn't it be fucked up with...
And then you write the story. Or fucked up if. I can't speak anymore. We are doing ghost taxes now. Like, what does it really change? You can walk through objects. Can you eat still? Can you move things? I don't know. Apparently they can hold a phone. This is the TLDR. This fic is just that literally everyone dies because of like a cosmic ray and they turn into ghosts. And that's all that's happened. As he decided to use one of Napstablook's tips and faced through the ground to get away from the boring speech. As someone who had listened to his speech, trust me, he dodged a bullet. He rose back up in the middle of the street and scanned the area for Pan, as he saw him headed toward the lake, so he started following. Eventually the road trailed off into dirt, which continued until they reached the lake. Pan was sitting on the edge, and as he sat down next to him. So this is, something, alright? Dead. I can hardly believe it myself. Mom hasn't been taking it well. It's because she's a Catholic or something. If you're a ghost, that means you didn't go to heaven. Sucks. That's fake, though, by the way. They're not Catholic. That's a joke. They're not actually. So, something that Napstablook said that ghosts don't need to... Oh, wait. Sorry, I didn't say that right. So something that Napstablook said is that ghosts don't need to eat to live. Only if they enjoy the taste. So, Isis isn't going to survive this. Oh, that's not good. I assume that the computers are still going to be a thing, though, so my job should be safe. Asriel's a computer guy, professionally. He felt embarrassed. He felt embarrassed. His friend was going to lose his job, and all he could talk about was how his job was secure. I don't think Pan noticed, though. He was too busy staring off into the water. I do note that he noticed Azzy's hand. He noticed Azzy's hand as he set it on Pan's shoulder, trying to be suave. Hey, I'm sure it'll be fine. You don't need to eat, and I'm sure there'll be tons of jobs created by this incident. They are worrying about the economy. You don't need an economy, dude. You're a ghost. Ghost economy. Thanks, though. To be honest, that's not really what's been on my mind recently. Oh? I've been doing research into ghost stuff. I was awake when it happened, so I got to see the story break in real time. Every ghost from before the conversation was sharing tips and tricks to a new life, so I'm probably one of the most informed people on the whole conversation thing. That's good to hear. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people you can help. Pan's mind was racing. He knew what he wanted to say, but he couldn't quite bend the conversation to point at it. We don't need anything to survive. Anything that costs money, anyway. All we need is to be fulfilled is happiness, and lots of it. More than we did when we were alive. If we aren't happy, we might go completely insane. Or we might lose form and fade away like in Dark Souls. That's the only real way for a ghost to die. Oh, I didn't know that. So Burger Pants is trying to introduce Azzy to the concept of post-scarcity before they reinvent capitalism. This is the true premise of the light novel here. Will they restructure a society around the needs of its inhabitants before reinventing capitalism? Who knows? Azzy was struck with a sudden force of fear. What if he couldn't be happy? He wouldn't call himself very content with his life. What if he couldn't improve his life? What if he were to fade away much sooner than he would have naturally died? What if he got rejected? Would a sudden burst of negativity kill him, or did it need to be a prolonged period of sorrow? Could he ever risk revealing his feelings to Pan? So I think I should say something, because it's been eating away at me for a while I was alive. And I think that it might be really bad if I don't address it now, because I'm dead. I mean, we're all dead, but you're good, man. You can tell me anything. Please do, actually. I'd love to let you get stuff off your mind. Pan couldn't know what Azzy was thinking at that moment, but I know. I know exactly what was racing through his head at that moment, shutting out his previous thoughts of anxiety and fear. Do you want to know? Okay, I'll tell you. Please be gay, please be gay, please be gay, please be gay, please be gay. Gay ghosts! Hang on a sec. They're gay. Lots of death. Lots of death. Death, ghosts, and gay. What else do you need? It is Halloween, by the way. What a weird set of squares. Where are we? Please be gay, please be gay. Right. It's a bit awkward for me to say because it kind of involves you a bit. Be into me, please be into me, be into me, be into me, be into me. So remember when I took you out to the bar when you turned 21 and you kissed me? Wait, they've already... Okay. They've always have an interesting twist to add, don't they? Please be gay, he says to the guy with a habit of, kissing men. Yeah, why? I think, well, no. I know that I kind of liked it. And, well, do you like it too? Did you think they kissed and neither of them liked it? I want to know the story behind this. I really want to know that story. Yes! Pan was taken aback by how loudly screamed that yes. If he was alive, his ears might have started to ring. They kissed as bros once, it happens. Everyone exists forever thing is like 17776. It may be based on that for all you know. Still haven't read that story. It really is a shame. I should read that. We're supposed to be drunk. I mean, it's implicit if they're at the bar, but... Oh, I forgot that 21 is the drinking age. That would make sense. So that your first legal bar trip, you're going to get hammered. Yeah. In Canada, it is 19. I have to remind the Americans to flex on them. Okay, yeah, they're gay and stuff. If he was alive, his ears might have started to ring. Well, do you want to maybe, do you want to become ghost? Date, be together, hug, kiss more? Whoa, yeah, that. Was he gonna say, like, ghost boyfriends? What was he going for here? Asriel then started glowing. Both of them took half a float back. Oh, that can happen if you get real happy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I've had a massive crush on you for years. What, me? But I'm me. Yeah, it's why I kissed you that one time. Wait, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, you're funny and you're kind and an amazing friend. Oh, and you're also hot as hell, by the way. You really like me, don't you? Ghost sex. As he didn't say another word, he leaned forward and tried to kiss Pan, but he passed straight through him. Wait, hold on, let me... Only Pizza Pants knows how to do ghost sex. She read it on a forum, and no one else knows how to do it yet. 3E Pants. Pan pushed Azzy back a little, then leaned forward and kissed him. The two boys wrapped their arms around each other. No matter the confusion that would come in the following years from becoming ghosts, they would have each other. The thing that's most important for a ghost is an anchor. Something important to them that they can focus on to keep themselves existing. Be it music, or rage, or even just dreams of a perfect body. As long as a ghost has something that can fill the void in their soul that all ghosts have, they can live. And these two, they fill each other's. A perfect fit, as if molded by the godless stars for each other. If I could cry... I forgot the narrator voice. It would bring tears to my eyes. What a weird... They became ghosts for no reason, and Pizza Pants is like, hey, you want a date? And that's the story. Perfect. Amazing. Beautiful. Written in 6 hours. Amazing. They just die and start dating. That's all that happens.